Hi. Have you also read A Philosophy of Education by Charlotte Mason? Or maybe your favorite homeschool content online talks all the time about the various things she said about a living education. If that's the case and you've not yet decided which Charlotte Mason curriculum you want to go with, if you're on the fence or if you're confused because there are so many options out there, I want to help compare 5 of what I consider the top Charlotte Mason curriculums out there today in this video. Hopefully, by the end of the video, you will have a better idea of what each one includes and how maybe one of them could benefit your family. So stay tuned, we're gonna dive in.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a...
Hi, I'm Sarah Ruth with Kindletogetherness, where we share all things faith-filled homeschooling, homemaking, and adventures. Welcome to my messy playroom, where my boys ages 11, 9, and 7 come and play every day. This is a multi-purpose room. I also do videos in here. I also teach ESL online here. Today, I'm going to ask you, before we even get started talking about these 5 amazing curriculums, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and click the subscribe button, if you will. That just helps tell YouTube that this is a video that other people like watching, that I am sharing things worth your time. You could also go ahead and like this video right now, but I do understand if you don't, since you haven't seen the whole thing yet. If there's a question you have after you've watched this, or even as we're going along, or a comment you want to make, a correction to something that I'm sharing, please go ahead and comment. I want to have an open dialogue here, and those of you that are using some of these various curriculums may have insight that I don't have that would be beneficial to others. So please comment, engage with one another, and I will be back visiting the comments often so that I can also continue to engage with you. But without further ado, let us get started talking about these 5 curriculums. So if you've been around for a little while in Charlotte Mason circles, these are all going to be very familiar to you. However, if you haven't, then this is a great starting place if you're looking at curriculum, if your child is 5 or 6 years old and you're wanting to get started, or if you have an older student and you've stumbled across Charlotte Mason and you're really wanting to dive in deep and use this curriculum in the coming year. I'm going to go ahead and give a full disclosure. The first curriculum that we are going to talk about is the curriculum that I choose to use. I do have an affiliate link that I'm going to put in the description of this video, and I hope if you decide that this is a curriculum you want to use, that you'll use my affiliate link, because it does further bless my family at no additional cost to you. Okay, I just like to be completely transparent with you. I'm not paid by this curriculum. I don't work for them. I am a moderator in their Facebook groups, but I receive no payment for that. I purchased the curriculum myself to use when my son was 6, my eldest, and we have actually stuck with it. He is now 11, and we are still happy and content and using it and thriving. So the first curriculum I'm going to talk about is called A Gentle Feast. I actually have a couple different videos on A Gentle Feast, so if you're looking for a walkthrough or a more in-depth talk about what is offered, you can go peruse my videos and you will find a variety there for you to consider what is offered. So first off, credit for A Gentle Feast goes to Julie Ross. She's an amazing mom of 5. I've gotten to know her over the years. She really loves the Charlotte Mason method. She provides a lot to those who choose to get a membership with her. And that's how her curriculum works. I find that some of the things that I love about A Gentle Feast are that it's very open and go. You can either choose the online option or the printed manual. If you get what she calls the printed teacher planner, it includes the online option, but you can get the online option only if you don't need the paper. And it right away, from the moment you purchase it, you have access to the full book list for grades 1 through 12. You have access to introductory videos where she teaches you about narration and how to implement language arts and how to run through history and what notebooks you may need, and just a huge variety of resources via video from Julie. Then you also get access to all the content areas except for math. She has math suggestions, but she does not have a scheduled math curriculum. So when you open up your membership, you'll log into a page. If you want to see those things, again, you can go to my other videos, but you log in and you have access to everything for all of your children from grades 1 through 12. And so what that means is when you buy a cycle from her, you're buying a time period, and you can educate all of your kids ages 6 through 18 in the same time period. And it's very easy to combine students. She does have it sectioned out according to forms, just like a traditional Charlotte Mason education. However, she makes it just so easy to make it your own. And that is really what I love about A Gentle Feast is it's a launching point, but it is not a scripted curriculum. And some of the other curriculums we're going to talk about, that's what they offer and provide is more of a scripted nuance, and they provide you very specific lesson plans. And I feel like that can, for some people, be crippling and prevent you from actually implementing the method in your home. I feel like it is much more valuable to learn about the method and be able to implement it yourself with your children rather than reading from scripted questions and having everything laid out for you where you don't have to think at all. So I find that A Gentle Feast is kind of that middle ground. Also, what I like about it is that it has both old and new books. So A Gentle Feast incorporates some modern picture books, quite a few in Form 1 in your first through third grade years, but it also has many of the beloved classics that are just the hallmark of a Charlotte Mason education. So the last thing I want to say, or the last two things I'd like to say about A Gentle Feast are one, it's a one-time purchase if you want it to be. So essentially you purchase a cycle and you get lifetime access to that cycle. So whereas with some of the other ones we'll discuss, it's an annual membership that you have to renew every year to continue using. With Julie's A Gentle Feast, you purchase once and you own that history cycle for the duration. Also, Julie begins A Gentle Feast in the USA. So if your students are from the USA and live in the USA, I feel like this is just very true to Miss Mason's philosophy, where she said, begin with your child's country of origin and what they know. And so if your child is Chinese and lives in China, you should be starting with China's history and what the child knows about China and moving outward from there. If your child is a British child, like the children that Miss Mason educated, you would begin in England and begin with that history from the very beginning of time and move forward and then out. US children, American children should start with their own history and move outward from there. So that is A Gentle Feast. I find it to be very economical. As far as Charlotte Mason educations go, you do still have to purchase books, although Julie does link what she's able and uses whatever free things are online that she's able to. I'm a print girl, so I just am like, we gotta buy the books, man. Anyway, moving forward from A Gentle Feast, let's talk about one of the favorites and one that's free. Free, except you have to buy books. Ambleside Online. Ambleside Online has been around for around 30 years. It is the life work and I feel like love gift of 6 women who were homeschool mothers who were passionate about Charlotte Mason and felt like we needed a Charlotte Mason revival. These are my kind of women. I wish I had known them all. But they began putting online free resources for mothers to be able to take this, what had become kind of antiquated and put off philosophy of education, and take it and bring it into modern times and apply it to our children in our homes. So all of the plans, everything that they provide is completely free, which is amazing. And if you are super duper on a budget, start with Ambleside Online. There's absolutely no reason you can't. They have a robust book list. I will say that I've talked about in another video why I didn't choose Ambleside Online, and one of the things that I hear repeated, well, actually the 2 primary reasons that I find a lot of people don't choose Ambleside Online if they choose not to use it, is that the books kind of start off really fast at a very high level. So even though you're reading them aloud to your students, imagine you have your little 6-year-old and you're reading these old English language terminology. And so many of the books in this curriculum, they're great classics. And interestingly, A Gentle Feast still uses most of them. She has just pushed them back to like when your kids are a little bit older, and I find it more age appropriate personally. So, one of the complaints or comments I hear from some people are that just the language, it's not that like there aren't other options out there that have beautiful language and intelligent language for children. It's just these books use almost like old English language, and that's really hard when your child is still going through language acquisition phases. The other thing that comes up a lot and was one of my primary reasons for not choosing Ambleside Online is that they begin history with the history of England, which is exactly what Miss Mason did. However, I am of the opinion after reading her volumes that she did that because her children were little British children. And so, if you're educating little British children according to what she has laid out, you would start with their home. However, I'm not educating adorable little British children. I have adorable little American boys, and I needed to start in their home base. And so that really pushed me away from Ambleside Online. I feel like that's an easy adaptation if you understand the method and you really want to make it your own. You could start with the USA and just purchase some other plans or come up with them on your own. But that's kind of one of the things to know. Ambleside Online also includes all content areas for all grades. They even have a year zero, which is kind of like your kindergarten-ish age if you want to. It's just a lot of beautiful books and stories to be reading with your children. They do not include any type of like printed lesson plans you can purchase. Everything's online, but you could easily print them off, and lots of moms contribute to like their forum online and their Facebook group in sharing. Like there continues to be this generosity with Ambleside Online where they're like, I made all these beautiful plans in this book, so if you want to log in and take my PDF or use my Canva link, then you can and make it your own. So it is possible to get printed things if you like that. Obviously, this is a big deal for me. I'm just old enough to want everything in print. I know how to use the online things, but I really like when I go to do lessons with my kids to have something that I can just open up and I'm not tied to a laptop. So anyway, if that's you, I'm your girl because I'll always forever be sharing all the things that you can get printed. All right, so moving on from Ambleside Online, just remember Ambleside Online is your budget option and it's a good option. All 5 of these are good options in my opinion. That's why I'm sharing them with you. I just think you have to figure out which one's going to work best for your family. Moving on, the third one I'm going to talk about is actually one I considered shifting to this year. I was thinking about possibly using it, and I looked at it very, very deeply and made the choice not to. But it's still wonderful, and probably if I ever left a Gentle Feast, this is where I would go, unless there's something out there I haven't discovered. But the Alveary, have you heard of the Alveary? The Alveary has been around for about 9 years, and they uh, are a membership that you purchase each year annually. So you pay $300 one time, and you get your plans for that history cycle for that year. And then the next year you pay $300 again, or if they go up on the price or whatever it is, you pay their membership fee and you get access to everything in an online membership format. They are known for including much more modern books and having more diversity than probably any other Charlotte Mason inspired or Charlotte Mason curriculum. And I will attest to that when I went in and looked at what they had to offer, looked at their lookbook, watched a bunch of their videos, and then a friend let me view what she had access to in her membership just so I could like get a feel for what was there and make an educated decision. They do have a lot of books, and they do have a lot of newer books, which is both good and I think like puts me a little bit on, because I feel like a Gentle Feast does include newer books too, whereas the Alveary I feel like has a big push to make sure most of their books are newer. They still include classic literature as well. The Alveary does start with U.S. history in your younger forms, and they have amazingly rich things for Bible that I haven't really seen in a lot of the other curriculums. Like they just have really beautiful additions to your Bible time. So if that's like something that really matters to you, they have some suggestions that I like really thought were stellar. Another thing that I feel like the Alveary does that none of the other ones do is they have scripted plans, very scripted, like to a T. Like you can literally print it out or open up your laptop and it's going to tell you exactly what to pull, exactly what pages to read, when to pause and ask things, when to have child do map work. So, like, if you're the person that just wants that and doesn't really want to have to do the grunt work of hunting down how to do a Charlotte Mason education and reading the extra books about narration and like really getting a handle and like internalizing a Charlotte Mason philosophy of education so you can, use it in your home, then this would probably be your pick. It's very beginner friendly. It is very, you know, done for you. When you open up their membership, all the book lists are there. They provide lesson plans. They give you exam questions. I'm a weirdo. I like coming up with my own exam questions. um, and I like kind of going with the flow with my kids and not necessarily having scripting, but I think it's a benefit for many. The other thing that I would say is kind of a downside, and it's what actually one of the main reasons apart from cost, apart from having to pay $300 every year and only having access to things for an 18-month period, the other thing that stopped me was that you must be in their cycle of history. Like they're doing it together. So this coming year, I think they're in like ancient history and like beginning like ancient times and ancient US history and like whatever stream you're doing, it's all ancient. Well, I just finished that with a gentle feast. So if I want to jump ship, I'm going to be doing a second year of the same portion of history. And so that was like a big bummer for me because I couldn't just go in and purchase a membership for the next history cycle so that I could continue. Like it's hard to jump in on it if you've already been doing history with your students and been doing it well. And I felt like this year we covered these parts of history so well, so I couldn't jump into the Alveary even if I wanted to. So that's good to know. The Alveary has YouTube videos that explains their book selections each year, which I think is wonderful. And it is a group of women working together to develop this curriculum and choose books. So those are good things to know. All right, we've talked about 3. We're going to go to number 4. Number 4 is simply Charlotte Mason. This curriculum was started by a woman that I just respect so much. I love watching her videos on YouTube. She is so calming. She has such wisdom. And also, if you would be praying for her, she recently found out that she has breast cancer, and it's really impacting her ministry and her life right now. So if we could just be holding her up in prayer as a member of the motherhood and homeschool community. Sonia Schaefer, she has just been a voice of wisdom for many years in Charlotte Mason and homeschool circles. This Simply Charlotte Mason is about 15-ish years old, so it's been around a while. And some of the interesting things about this that are different from other curriculums, Simply Charlotte Mason combines geography, Bible, and history all into one study. And the way that Simply Charlotte Mason works is you actually go online and you can purchase content areas. So you can purchase their ancient geography, Bible, and history, or their medieval, or whatever you're working on. You purchase those components. So you can purchase their nature study and natural history. You can purchase their delightful reading resources. You can purchase, each thing is on its own. It comes with a guide. Their guides usually include like a spine text, which actually we own a couple of those because they can be really nice for pulling together a time period. So they include a spine text that sometimes is a little more dry, but I feel like she has tried to write them and use authors who write them in a living manner, in a narrative manner. And then her plans also include additional books for you to purchase. So you're going to purchase her whatever you're wanting to buy, whatever content area, and get those resources from her. It's like your lesson plans and things. And then you need to go purchase the additional books that they suggest. So this can get really costly. That's probably one of the biggest downsides. It is fairly open and go compared to other things. They have their own math curriculum you can purchase. I've used it. It was written by an amazing homeschooling mother, very good quality. So I don't have anything necessarily negative to say about Simply Charlotte Mason. It's been around a while. It's well vetted. It's a unique Charlotte Mason curriculum in that Sonia Schaefer and some other authors have written the spines and give you an entire package with the spine and tell you what else to use. And then there's plans written out for you. So that is an option, and it's a good option. Falling back for just a second, one thing I want to say about the Alveary that I forgot to comment on, and it was also a deciding factor for me, one of the things that pushed me away from it, was that it's very cost prohibitive to get their things in printed format. Very cost prohibitive. It was almost difficult to figure out how much it would cost. I went to their website that's linked that you can purchase like the printed things, and it just seemed like it was going to add up to so much money. And for me, as somebody who prefers a printed resource, that wasn't gonna fly. So their lesson plans are all provided in the membership. They are PDFs. You can download them and print them off yourself if you don't mind having a bunch of papers and like different ones for every content area, and you're organized and can do that in like a binder or whatever. It may still be a great option for you. For me, I really like having everything in one place, and that's how Julie's are, and so that's why I like it so much. Even with Simply Charlotte Mason, it's the same way. Not everything's going to be in one thing together. You're going to have these different guides that you're pulling from, and honestly, that could work great for something like this. You could put it and the books for that content area all together and just pull them out when it's time for that. So I'm not saying one way is better than the other. One way is going to work for one family better than another way, and that's what you're hearing me talk about, is what works for my family. But I'm also trying to share openly and honestly with you all the different things that are out there, so you can figure out what's going to work in your family. May not be the same thing as what works for me, and that's okay. All right, number 5, last but not least, definitely not least, there is no least in this group in my opinion, is the CMEC. And this is also an annual membership. I believe it's around $300 a year. So this is another one where you're going to purchase to jump into their history cycle, and you're going to have access for 1 year, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. I know the Alveary offers it. You can purchase your membership in February for the next school year, and you would have it all the way through June or July. So you're getting like 18 months access, not exactly a year. So that's the CMEC. It is also written and compiled and produced by a board. It has multiple members who work together to make sure that what they're offering meets their standards of Charlotte Mason. It has been said that this is the most like what Miss Mason did in her PNEU schools. And the reason this is said is because they actually very, very closely follow her exact curriculum. Like, they have accessed the PNEU and cottage school plans, and they have taken those and they're implementing them in their structure, and that's what they're following. So I guess you could say it must be the most closely following to what she presented in her schools. So if you are a Charlotte Mason purist, which is what people would call this is going to be a great fit for you. The other positives about the CMEC are that they have amazingly rich resources for mothers, and they call the mothers mother teachers. And they really want to equip you to teach your child and to understand and to be immersed in the Charlotte Mason method. So they provide in their membership multiple opportunities to take courses and have seminars and retreats and things that you can do, because they are not like the Alveary in that they don't provide a scripted lesson plan, but instead they provide you lists of offerings. They're like, here are multiple books you could choose from for this form and this content area, that were approved by Miss Mason, and now you need to decide what's going to work best for your student this year. They don't give you, the exam questions or what narration questions to ask, etc., like the Alveary does. So the CMEC, some of their benefits are that they really look at the mother teacher and try to equip her to implement the methods and the philosophy in her home. And then they are following almost to the T the PNEU schedule and books and whatnot that Miss Mason developed. So, friends, there you have it. Those are, in my opinion, the most closely following of her methods, of Charlotte Mason's methods, for curriculums that you can purchase. The honest truth is, you don't have to purchase anything. You can absolutely create a beautiful Charlotte Mason education for your children without ever buying a single guide. Her books are easy to get a hold of. I've read all of them a couple times through. I'm always kind of reading through one, trying to just keep, because she really is kind of my goal educator. I love the way she did things. It really resonates with me as a mother, as a believer, and as a teacher. And so I'm continually like almost renewing my mind with her ideas and comparing them to scripture and comparing them to our household and thinking ahead about how, I'm going to be applying these things and helping and guiding my children. So anyway, all of that to say, there are some curriculums out there that say we're Charlotte Mason inspired, or we're this or we're that, and it's fine. It is okay to be a Charlotte Mason inspired curriculum and do unit study, or to do different, there's a lot of different methods and ideas. There are people who are very eclectic and appreciate and value all these different concepts. But if you are truly looking for a Charlotte Mason influenced curriculum, these 5 I feel confident suggesting to you. And if you have any questions, you want me to follow up with a different video that talks more about something specifically, please put it in the comments. If you've watched this far, please click like on this video because obviously you liked it. Obviously I was somewhat informative or entertaining. And I hope that you are just enjoying your motherhood and have a wonderful rest of your day or rest of your week. And until next time, this is Sarah Ruth with Kindle Togetherness. Thank you.